This is a crate on Dust 2, and it's nearly as old as the Counter-Strike franchise itself. Ever since the original Half-Life mod, crates were the go-to object for mappers when they needed to add some cover to an area. For a good reason. Their shapes were simple and easy to work with. You could have them large or small, you could stack them, suspend them, and all of that without raising too many questions in the olden industrial warehouse military base type aesthetic that Counter-Strike was going for. But as the times went on, more and more mappers brought their maps into more unique settings and aesthetics in which giant 2-meter tall crates wouldn't make too much sense. So the mappers working on them have accordingly split into two main camps. Ones that tried to get rid of crates entirely, and ones that kept them in, but with certain modifications and adjustments to make them fit in better. And while the first group is interesting in their own regard, with maps as old as the E-Survivor jokingly labeling the only crate in the map, the only crate in the map, today I want to show and discuss some of my favorite examples of modern Counter-Strike maps making crates cool again. Yeah. Let's start with something simple. For example, Dust 2. While I do think that most of these crates here don't make that much sense, with them having no real rhyme or reason to be here, especially for so long that plants start growing on them, I do want to commend the B-side for having some crates be actually stacks of bricks instead, which they probably brought here to fix the multiple holes in the walls we can see around the Kasbah. That's some nice environmental storytelling. I also want to point out that back in early CSGO's Dust 2, some of the crates were these stacks of rations, which also made more sense and gave a little bit more story to the active Warzone aesthetic that this version of the map had. So yeah, if we're ever to get yet another Dust 2 remake, I would like to see some more inspired crate designs akin to the ones I showcased right now. Inferno is also a pretty simple case. On A side, instead of generic crates and barrels, we have wine crates and barrels, which is quite a marginal improvement, but I like it. And here we can also see something that I've been encountering more and more recently. It is crates with one side open. Since removing one side of a box doesn't really change its outline, you can squeeze in some extra detailing without changing how it plays. In case of Inferno, it's rockets that explain why terrorists are even targeting this winery in the first place. And I think community maps really do well in terms of these more interesting crate designs. For example, Palacio, that is in game right now, also does the thing on Inferno with the one open side, though instead of rockets it is tiles, and we can see they're waiting to be placed onto this unfinished floor. Again, this is very minor, like not even that exciting, but I feel like it just adds this like 10%, like this pinch of life into the otherwise boring crates. And so many maps do this in their own ways. For example, B-side on Mills has these gas canisters inside the crates, or how on Memento instead of crates we have stacks of vegetables, or also the grocery aisles on Akiba are super cool, or even this shelf with shirts on Dogtown also is basically a crate. But low-key, don't tell anyone, one of the big reasons for me even making this video is to once again glaze the ramen stand on golden. Because if you think about it, it is a crate. Like, yeah, the outline is a bit more complex, but in terms of gameplay it's basically a crate. And it's amazing, just so much detail concentrated on something that otherwise would be extremely boring. I can listen to this ramen sizzle for hours, and yeah, this is just beautiful, this is art. This is what it's all about. And I think that's pretty much summarizes my whole point in this video, that I feel like maps should make me care about what I'm blowing up or what I'm defending. Tell me why these crates are important, tell me their story, or show me how did they get here, something. Cause like, you look at Ancient and B-side is cool, it's like this playground monument thingamajig and actually utilizes the Mayan theme, but A-side is just crates from Dust 2. And Ancient doesn't even have the excuse of being made 20 years ago, so like, what are we even doing here? I don't know, maybe like open one side like on Inferno, put some rockets in, or I don't know, some archaeology tools, some cool Mayan artifacts. And explain how these crates got here, because clearly they weren't brought here by just people picking them up, like where are forklifts, where are trucks. Like, look at Overpass. The crates in the middle of the street there clearly fell down from the truck during the accident, which is some good environmental storytelling. Good job, Overpass. Ancient, you should learn from this. And also Vertigo as well. I don't understand what are barrels of acid or like crates of acid doing on a skyscraper. Like, just stop it. Be better. If it's too hard for you, just pick an easier beam where it would make sense to put a bunch of crates all around, like Nuke does. Anyway, I'm yapping too much again. Somehow every video of mine just turns into an ancient hate rant. But you get my point. I care a lot about crates, but I think the real question is, do they care about me?